Internal Leader of the People's National Movement, Dr. Keith Rowley, Chairman of the PNM, Senator Franklin Khan, Mayor of San Fernando, Junior Regrello. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this meeting of the Red Rowley team. Team Red and Rowley is here to present itself to you this evening. And as the mayor said, this is not an East and West competition. This is not an East and West competition. This is a competition for the best group of people to be in charge of the leadership and executive of the PNM. So on behalf of the Red and Rowley slate, I really want to thank all of you who have come out in your numbers this evening, not just in a demonstration of support, but to also participate in an exercise of democracy of which only the PNM can boast. I want to thank all the candidates on this slate who have accepted the challenge to serve. Ladies and gentlemen, we earnestly believe that every single member of the party has a right and a responsibility and indeed an obligation to serve the party in one form or fashion. And we on this slate congratulate Dr. Rowley for putting together this slate. Because we of the PNM are cut from a different cloth. We ascribe to higher values and we hold steadfastly to the principles of our founding fathers, which invites us always to be respectful of diversity and differences, so that every creed and race will find an equal place in Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, I could say more, but because of the fact that I'm already elected, Dr. Rowley is already elected, Jennifer Batiste Primus is already elected, Howard Chinley is already elected, Jocelyn Bodin is already elected. I will give an opportunity to those who are still campaigning to say something. But if you all want me to talk more, I will later. So ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to remind you that this is the Red Rowley team. And what does RED stand for? Real, experienced, and dependable. And in that regard, I invite Daniel Duki to say a few words to us tonight.
Thank you, Lady Vice Chairman of the movement, unopposed political leader, Chairman, His Worship the Mayor, and all you other distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Very happy to be here and to have the opportunity to say a few words to you. Let me begin by telling you that I became active in the People's National Movement in the year 2002 as a general election candidate for the constituency of Pointe-à-Pierre. Since then, I have served continuously on the executive of the Pointe-à-Pierre constituency, and since then, I have served on the General Council of the People's National Movement. In the year 2010, I was elected at that time unopposed as the Assistant General Secretary of the movement. And last year, I think it was the month of August, I was asked by the General Council to assume the position of General Secretary, and I would have done so, in my estimation, with love and pride and commitment. I also had the opportunity to serve as a member of the board of TNTech, and to serve as an alderman in the beautiful city of San Fernando. So I believe that over the years, at the level of leadership, I would have served at the party group level, the constituency level, the level of the general council, the level of the central executive, party leadership level, board level, local government level, and now I also serve at the parliamentary level as a senator since 2015. I believe, hence, that I am well prepared, well equipped to continue to serve this great party as Assistant General Secretary. I take this opportunity to recommit myself to excellent service, and I ask all of you for your support, not just for myself, but for all the members of Team Rowley, so that together we can continue to work hard so that we can continue to make this great political organization the premier political institution in this part of the world. God bless you.
Thank you very kindly, Daniel. In addition to the Assistant General Secretary, the person who will welcome you warmly to Balizé House and make sure that Balizé House works effectively and the team works assiduously is the General Secretary of the party. Dr. Rowley has chosen Foster Cummings as the person who will be the General Secretary of the People's National Movement. And so tonight, I invite Foster to address us.
Thank you very much, Lady Vice Chairman of the PNM, the Honorable Camille Robinson-Regis, political leader, the man for the job, right leader, right time, the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley. And as if I heard him say in 2010, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and dine with him and he with me. And in 2010, we elected the fourth political leader of the People's National Movement. He has impressed all of us and is a great and dynamic leader. And I'm proud to be a member of the Team Red as we move to victory on September the 30th. My name is Foster Cummings, and I'm running for General Secretary of the People's National Movement. And I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I joined the PNM some 31 years ago. I see a young lady looking at me in the back saying I look like 31. I've served on the General Council of the PNM for 28 years, 3 years as an observer, 25 years as an elected member. I've served as youth officer male of the party. I've served as field officer of the movement. I currently serve as election officer of the PNM. And come September the 30th, I'll be your next General Secretary. It is a position that requires experience. It is a position that requires dedication, institutional knowledge, and commitment to the organization. And I tell you tonight that you could not find a better candidate than Foster Cummings. So San Fernando East and San Fernando West, let your voices be heard. Let your votes be counted point of peer. On September the 30th, vote resoundingly for the Red Brigade, the Red Army, led by Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. As General Secretary of the movement, whilst the chairman introduced that I would make sure that Balize House is the most welcoming to all party members, I do not only intend to sit at Balize House. It is my intention to come to each and every constituency, to visit you and to make sure that your election machinery is well oiled, that your party groups are functioning, that your Women's League and Youth League are well functioning. And therefore, whenever the bell is called, the bell is rung, and we are called to put the PNM on a proper footing, you can be assured that under the stewardship of Foster Cummings as your General Secretary, this party will be an unbeatable election machine. I thank you.
Thank you very much, General Secretary. Just to assure you, though, that you don't have to check on the Women's League. Ladies and gentlemen, as we talk about a well-oiled machine for elections, it brings me to the next person who will speak on this platform, and that is Mr. Indar Parasram. Indar Parasram is going for the position of Elections Officer, and I now invite him to address you.
Thank you very much, Lady Vice Chairman, political leader, and Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley, Chairman of the People's National Movement, the Honorable Franklin Khan, Mayor of San Fernando. Ladies and gentlemen, all good evening. My name is Indar Parasram, as the Lady Vice Chairman said. I spoke on the last two platforms, and she then said to us that we must say something about ourselves. But for the last week in the campaign trail, I'm hearing about the education, I'm hearing about the gongsman, I'm hearing about who are committed to the party. So I want to deal with those two things this evening for my 3 minutes. I come from the constituency of Couva South. I joined this party on the 28th of November, 1987, some 31 years ago. I joined it when I was 3 years old, so that's my age now. On that said year, I became youth officer of the constituency. I went on to become secretary of the constituency, public relations officer of the constituency, education officer of the constituency, and of course, chairman of the constituency for 12 years. I spent 22 years in the general council of the party, 13 years on the central executive of the party, field officer of the movement from 2011 to present. I was a local government candidate in the year 1992. So you see, the experience started already. And then we move on to the elections on the campaign trail. I was a campaign coordinator for the Shogunas Borough Corporation. The Shogunas Borough Corporation at that time, and the years previous to that, the PNM only held one seat. And that seat was held by one Ronald Hira. In that year, I became campaign coordinator, and up to now, we got 3 seats. In fact, at the last local government elections, we tied with the UNC and take the Jacowanas party to ensure that the UNC regained control of that corporation. I was a campaign coordinator, campaign manager for 4 Tobago House of Assembly elections for the electoral district of Goodwood Belgarden. On 3 occasions, I was there, but some smart person decided on one of the that I should not be there, and therefore we lost then. But that three terms that it is the first time the PNM have ever won that seat. And that 3 times was under my management of Goodwood Belgarden. In fact, at the last THA elections, it was felt that 3 seats will be lost by the PNM. And that's one of the seats was Goodwood Belgarden. Unfortunately for us, as we spend day and night on that seat, I eventually bottomed that seat by 5 votes. I was a campaign manager in 1995 for the Couva South constituency. In 2001 and 2002 for the Couva South constituency. In 2007, they then decided to send me in Komoto Manzalena. In that constituency, the history will tell you that we would have lost that seat continuously by over 5,000 votes. In that 2007 election, we lost that seat by 238 votes. In 2010, I was the campaign manager for Couva South, and in 2015, I became the campaign coordinator for 10 candidates in the last general elections. Therefore, when we talk about experience in the party and in elections, I am your man. I am your person and man, as it is, who you would, on September 30th, vote resoundingly, vote Team Rowley, vote Team Red, and most importantly, ensure that Indar Parashram becomes your next elections officer. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Indar. Ladies and gentlemen, Indar is not my man, but I will vote for him. I will definitely vote for him. Another person that I'll vote for resoundingly is the person who will be taking over the job that Indar does now. And that is the mayor of Point 14. His name is Abdan Mason, and he is going for the position of field officer. Abdan.
Thank you very much, Madam Lady Vice Chairman. Permit me to recognize the first citizen of San Fernando, His Worship the Mayor, Alderman Junior Regrello. Party Chairman, Mr. Franklin Khan, and of course our political leader, Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Abdan Mason. I hail from Point 14, and I'm running for field officer. I've spent 33 years in the People's National Movement, and this year I had the great honor and privilege to celebrate 50 years of life. So I'm 50 now. When I joined the People's National Movement and I got active in the Youth League, there was an unspoken rule. The chairman of the Youth League must come from North, and the vice chairman could come from South. I felt that was nonsense. I came from Point 14 and I thought I could be Youth League chairman too. So I challenged the status quo, and history will show I am the only person to ever come from Point 14 and become National Youth League chairman. But there was another school of thought that felt that once you come through the Youth League and you reach the age to come out, you come out of the party or you find something else to do. I defied that too. So I moved on from the Youth League and I've spent 33 years in the People's National Movement. I have served at the constituency level. I have served at the General Council, the Central Executive, the Legislative Group, and numerous other subcommittees of the party. Why am I running for field officer? I believe the PNM is the best party out there. We have the best story to tell. We have the people of Trinidad and Tobago first in our undertakings. But more importantly, I believe now is the time to touch every nook and cranny of Trinidad and Tobago and tell the story of the People's National Movement. I am not coming to sit down in an office. I come for hard work. I come to hit the ground and go to every crack out there and pull out every PNM person, remind them why they joined the party, and get them to commit to ensuring that Trinidad and Tobago continues on a developmental path, that we continue with the People's National Movement and Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. I don't know if you all have observed this. Mayor Regrello is the mayor of San Fernando, so he has to be here. He's hosting us. The Honorable Franklin Khan is the outgoing chairman. He could have chosen to stay home. Ms. Camille Robinson-Regis won unopposed. Dr. Rowley won unopposed. They could have stayed home and said, hey, all you have to win now, go out there and get it done. But because of the commitment to Trinidad and Tobago, because of the commitment to the People's National Movement, they ensure that the team that they put together gets the best support possible, so they come out every night and ensure that they are stomping on the ground with us to ensure that the PNM continues on the right path. This is leadership. This is what it's all about. And ladies and gentlemen, we commit, this group of persons here, to do the best on behalf of the PNM, because with the PNM, the best will be done on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago. In case you forget, my name is Abdon Mason, and I'm your candidate for field officer. Vote for me.
Thank you, Abdon. Abdon rightly said that the PNM has a story to tell. And two people on the executive of this slate will be telling the PNM story. One of those is the social media officer, and the other is the public relations officer. Both of them represent real PNM, experienced PNM, and dependable PNM. So I now invite our candidate for social media officer to address us, Avinash Singh.
Thank you, Madam Lady Vice Chair of the People's National Movement. Sitaram, Assalamu Alaikum, a pleasant good night, ladies and gentlemen. PNM family, good night. Let me take 1 minute out of my contribution tonight to acknowledge my Hindu brothers and sisters who have started the fast for Ganesh Utsav Festival. It's a 10-day fast and a 10-day festival. I think it's the second or the third largest Hindu festival in the country. So to the Ganesh Utsav festivals that's taken place throughout the length and breadth of this country, on behalf of the PNM, I wish you well. Ladies and gentlemen, as the party Lady Vice Chair announced me, let me also recognize our head table tonight, our political leader and Prime Minister today, tomorrow, and for the next 20 years, Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley. Let me also acknowledge Your Worship, the Mayor of the City of San Fernando, and our beloved Chairman of the People's National Movement. I am Avinash Singh, and why I am here. I want to go down on the records book of this party, just like our founding members. In January 1956, in the names of Dr. Eric Williams, Kamaluddin Mohammed, Gerard Montano, Donald Pierre, Grando, and others. Yes, I'm just making sure you all are paying attention to me. And that is what an effective social media officer will be doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, this position, the social media officer, which I will be carrying, whether you like it or not, from September 30th onwards, my name will go down in history as the first person in the history of the PNM to carry that position. And it will be thanks to the visionary leadership and foresight of the political leader now, Dr. Keith Rowley. Because one must understand that it is Dr. Rowley who saw the vision and the need to generate this party, to transform this party, to open the doors to people like myself from rural, rice, and fishing village called Felicity from Shoguanas to be here today. And I stand proud to be that story, that member who has taken responsibility and has offered myself for service and to be a servant of the PNM. The Shoguanas West by-election, the Caroni Central general election. I also serve in the Heliconia Foundation as a trust fund, as a trustee in the trust fund. And I serve in the opposition from 2013 to 2015 as the youngest appointed senator, thanks to Dr. Keith Rowley, the one who has given the young people. And it's only after Dr. Rowley appointed me, then you see some young faces in the Senate from the opposition, you know. So I'm saying it takes visionary leadership. It took a great man to reshape the People's National Movement so that it will attract members from throughout the length and breadth of this country. And I dare say, I'm 100% PNM for those who still question, and I will continue to be so for a very, very long time. Ladies and gentlemen, social media officer. We must understand the journey of this party. In the 60-something years we have been in existence, we have to move with the times. Technology now is available. The young people, the not-so-young people, even your unborn child in the persons who are pregnant could tell you. I can't tell you, but I could tell you. When they tell you that during pregnancy, the child that is not born yet is more tech-savvy than anybody else, understand the times we are living in. And we as a political entity, the strongest in the Caribbean and the Western Hemisphere, must change with the times. So we invented the social media officer position, which I will be carrying the flag for. And I dare say, this party has already put the mechanisms in place to generate the content and carry this party with a full machinery, a full oiled facility for social media officer. And yes, Madam Chairperson, I just want to say that I stand committed, ready, with Dr. Rowley and this team, the Red and Rowley team, to take the PNM throughout the length and breadth and generate content to win the next and all the general elections. Make sure and vote Avinash Singh for your next social media officer. Thank you.
You all see the power of the first citizen of San Fernando? Thank you, Avinash. And now invite Laurel Lezama Leasing to address us. Laurel, don't make the mayor come for you, eh?
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. Chairperson of this evening's proceedings. Madam Chairman, yeah, you don't distract me, I have time. His Worship, the Mayor of San Fernando, Alderman Junior Regrello, political leader and Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley, party chairman, Mr. Franklin Khan, my fellow candidates on team Red and Rowley, and you beautiful people of San Fernando, good evening. When you attack democracy, when you attack the country's institutions, and when you attack my political leader, I will pull my team together, surround him, and deal with you. We must defend our party and our country with all of our might. We must defend it because it is the right thing to do. We have to act as the protectors of our party and the protectors of our country and the protectors of our democracy. We must not just be reactionary. We must also be proactive. I have offered myself to be the public relations officer of the People's National Movement, and it is my privilege to be a member of the team Red and Rowley. As your public relations officer, I propose, amongst other things to do, the establishment of a vibrant and relevant public relations committee and constituency subcommittees, media training for all PROs, consistent use of traditional and social media, an updated and relevant website, the re-establishment of the Magnum publication, reliable and timely information dissemination, the establishment of internal mechanisms for reliable and true feedback, the creations of an archives unit, both digital, audio, as well as print, weekly interviews with appropriate office holders, stalwarts, and activists, monthly panel discussions that we can broadcast online or do as podcasts, PNM public speaking competitions, and platform speaking training for the young people, amongst other things. Those are just some of the things that I propose to do as your public relations officer. My name is Laurel Lizama Leasing. I hail from the beautiful eastern borough of Arima. I came down San Fernando, down here have all the tempo, so all you vote Laurel for PRO. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Laurel. Ladies and gentlemen, we have heard from the General Secretary, the Assistant General Secretary, the Public Relations Officer, the Social Media Officer, the Elections Officer, and the Field Officer. I think it's important for us to hear from the Youth Officer. Ladies and gentlemen, Ndale Young has told us that he is young for youth. And so, as you know, the youth are very important to Dr. Rowley and to our party. Ndale, you're not paying attention? I expect you to come up now and say a few words to us.
Now, I don't want to believe that that welcome is because I'm not from South, you know. San Fernando people, how are you feeling? Chair, political leader and Prime Minister of this wonderful country, Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley, Chair Lady of this evening's proceedings, the Honorable Principal and Timekeeper for this evening, our wonderful Mayor, our wonderful Mayor, Junior Regrello, and the chairman of this wonderful party, Outgoing. Put your hands together for Franklin Khan. My fellow candidates, now, I heard the mayor say that you don't have bacon, shark, and beaches. It is my opinion that one of the greatest resources in San Fernando is its people. I have never come to a meeting in San Fernando and not felt energized and ready to go like the PNM is alive and well and doing well. And I say that with no shame and no fear of favor, although I might have some licks when I get back to Barrett area, but that's okay. You know, I'm from Barrett area. And when I listen to the portfolios, and I've been in this party 31 years, 47 years, and joined this year and left that year, such a count number. Yes. So I can't go with that entirely. And I've laid in many spaces the amount of time I've been here and I've been part of the General Council. But I want to tell you where we're going with this party and with this party's youth. I hail from Barrett area, and I went to Success Laventille Composite. I am a proud success of Laventille. And the reason why I say that is I am a first-generation student of that school. It is the PNM that gave Laventille a school called Success Laventille Composite. And the day that the doors opened, my sister went. After that, my other sister went, and after that, I went. And I can tell you that my mother is always serenaded with kudos for these 3 children that she made. So you don't have to go to NAPS or to go to here and to go to there and present. You don't have to go where Forrest went to make a dent. But moving forward, on the 12th of September, the UN declared World Youth Day to be a safe space for the youth. And I said that they were late, because the People's National Movement from the beginning, Dr. Eric Williams saw it necessary to pull 2 groups out of all. The women, because they were the backbone and the nurturers of this party, and the youth, because they were the future of this party. And the youth has had a safe space in the Youth League from the beginning to now. But I want to make it a safer space. In my tenure as youth officer, we propose to have a youth, not just a youth forum, a youth space, but a youth common. And I've already started seeking funding to build this place, because we can't just come and talk. Where the youth can give their views and say what they want or what the future should look like, what are their opinions on the present situation. I have had youths call me and say, listen, how they could call my Prime Minister Oreo. What that left for me? They have a voice as well. And in that place, it will be heard. But one of the things that stood out the last time we were in Diego Martin is when this Prime Minister took a case that many people play politics with, in terms of the introduction of the conversation of the legalizing of marijuana. And let me tell you something. The decriminalizing of marijuana. Thank you very much, AG. I don't want to say nothing that you have to sue me for. But let me tell you something. In 2010, I was put on the board of an organization called Vision on Mission. And for 6 years, I visited the nation's jails from Carrera to here to there, all over. And the one thing that always stood out is the fact that many people got their first start in this criminal world simply with a stick of weed. So they go in for 1 month and they're on remand just to get a case. And there, they get a big brother that tell them, just go and drop this, hold a gun. Boy, I can take care of you on the outside, you know, even though I'm inside. And you don't understand the underworld that happens inside of it. Simply because a young man had a stick of marijuana, his entire life went down the drain. And I don't know where this conversation will go, you know, because it's a conversation with Trinidad and Tobago. But I can tell you that I and the youths of this country welcome any part of that conversation. If it does nothing, it will save lives. Because after a young man even gets through his sentence, that stain is on his record, unless he gets a presidential pardon, for life. You can't get a job. You're looking to go to the States. 10 years after, you want to make yourself better? No, because you were smoking marijuana. And those that are in the higher echelons may have recreational smoke from time to time, but they are allowed to do so. So, on that note, I say to you, with the principle of time on my back, and because she stands in support of Young for the Youth, I know that she is coming out here to join me and to join San Fernando to say vote for Ndale Young for the youth. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Ndale. What I was really coming up here to do, though, is to remind you of those who talk about plant-like substances. You didn't mention that. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your youth officer for the People's National Movement. Ladies and gentlemen, there are two other positions that are contested. That is the vice chairman and the operations officer. Three other. The education officer is also contested. But tonight, our education officer, Mr. Overan Padmore, is not with us. But we do have the candidates for operations officer and vice chairman. I now invite the operations officer to come forward.
Good evening, everyone. Political leader, Dr. Keith Rowley, chairman of this evening's proceeding, Mayor of San Fernando, Alderman Junior Regrello, chairman of my party, Mr. Franklin Khan, members of my slate, San Fernando East, San Fernando West, Pointe-a-Pierre, and anybody who is here, Faizabad, Point 14, Tabaquite, Diego Martin West. I just have one thing to ask you. Kindly, when you go to the polls on September 30th, please vote for Irene Hines as operations officer. I had intent to come here tonight to put in 2 words for my 2 brothers, Indara and Foster, but I think they did a good job for themselves. I am certain you will be, but to have somebody else, I'm glad he's coming after me. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to go and do a photo shoot. So I had to, he had to change. And he had on a nice jacket and a shirt and a tie. You know women will be the most votes for this election. And Camille? We'll have women coming out in their band. I'll give you an extra reason to vote for my vice chairman, Robert Lee Hunt. I had the opportunity to saw him change. And it's not for what you're thinking. It's just that I find that he take out the jacket and the shirt and the tie so quick. And put on the jersey. Vote for Robert Lee Hunt for vice chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a real election. We have real people going up. I am Irene Hines. Irene, real. Real, real, real. Irene, experience. Real experience. Irene, oh gosh, ask Doc, ask Camille, ask Mr. Khan, ask Laurel, ask Marlene, ask anybody, are dependable. On September 30th, we ready, Team Rowley, Irene Hines, operations. God bless us all.
Thank you very much. Real, experienced, and dependable Irene Hines for operations. Ladies and gentlemen, I have never seen Robert Lee Hunt change. But I know that he is a man who has served this party over a long period of time. And I also know that he has never changed his allegiance. And so, I want him to come and tell you what he has done in the PNM that makes him real, experienced, and dependable. Robert.
Yeah. Yeah. Good night, Lady Vice Chairman, our transformational leader, the Right Honorable Dr. Keith Rowley, the Mayor of the City of San Fernando, other members of the executive, our Chairman, Mr. Franklin Khan, other members of the executive that are here with us, other Deputy Political Leader, Ms. Jo Newell Williams, Mr. Sinanan, Miss Marlene MacDonald, all the other executives from the constituencies throughout the Southland that are here, a hearty good evening to you all. Irene, let me say thank you for that endorsement. I let you know that my wife is also looking. And darling, yes, I changed, but it was Irene. I am extremely glad to be here this afternoon, or this evening, back in the Southland. This area has a lot of fantastic memories. Let me also hail out anyone here who are alumni from Presentation College San Fernando. And all right, and Naps boys. You know, I have been in this party for over 30 years. I worked since I came back from university. I was down in Faizabad constituency. That's where I joined, and that's where I started my political career. You know, and as I move from country, you know, and you move from these areas and you move up, I then moved to San Fernando. And again, my life, wherever I am, PNM is with me. So I joined San Fernando West. And I worked in San Fernando West for a long while. Was vice chairman of San Fernando West. I was elected to be an alderman of San Fernando West. Then I moved to Tobago. And of course, again, I was in Tobago, and I was there in Tobago, and Jo Newell Williams will remember when we were trying to launch and getting the Opera London into politics in Tobago in 1995. That's where the campaign was held, in my house. So I was there working in all the campaigns in Tobago. Came back, went to Diego Martin East, ended up being treasurer of Diego Martin East, because that's where I chose to go and live at that point in time. So I have been working in all of the constituencies. I ran elections in Dabadi O'Meara. I ran elections in San Fernando West at a critical time when we needed to put Dian Sukaran in office to break the 1818 vote. When there is something to be done, where I worked for all of my life at the bank, I am the person that they turn to. I am the person, when you want to get something done, you turn to Robert LaHunt. When the bank wanted to go regional, I was the person that took them to Cuba. When we decided to go international, I was the person that took them to Africa. And that level of business experience and my grounded experience within the PNM is what I bring to bear on the position of vice chairman. Make no bones about it. Whatever I am today, is because of the People's National Movement. And I am here to give back and to work and to give this party that has given me everything that I am today. Everything is because of, I should also recognize my mother and father who also brought me here. But between my mother and father, Mr. and Mrs. Ovid LaHunt, and the People's National Movement, that is the reason why I am here. So, when it's come to being dependable, when it comes to being real, so, as I move quickly along, I will let you know that the hunt is over. Vote Robert LaHunt for Vice Chairman of the People's National Movement. Come September the 30th, the hunt is over. I thank you.
As Robert said, the hunt is over. Ladies and gentlemen, there's one other person who is vying for a position on our team, and that is Mr. Colum Imbert. He is our candidate for the position of chairman. And on this occasion, he is not here because he is representing the political leader and prime minister at FCB's 25th anniversary celebrations. And he is representing our prime minister in his capacity as prime minister. Colum is representing him in that capacity. He's also representing as the Minister of Finance. And that is a person who is real, experienced, and dependable. An excellent candidate for the position of chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the slate for the Red Rowley team. We have candidates for every position, and we will win every position. But ladies and gentlemen, we could not be in San Fernando, and our political leader having said that other candidates may be able to speak on our platform. But we rarely said that for the first two meetings. But on this occasion, because we're in San Fernando, and Abigail here for years, we will allow Abigail to say very few words. So Abigail, please come forward. Abigail, you're not reading everything in that file, eh?
Thank you very much, Madam Lady Vice Chairman, the Honorable Camille Robinson Regis. The first citizen in the city of San Fernando, His Worship the Mayor Alderman Junior Regrello, Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley, Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and the political leader of the People's National Movement. Other party officials, members of the movement, my San Fernando East family, San Fernando West, and Pointe-a-Pierre. All our we is one family. I would like to thank the political leader for the opportunity given to me this evening to address members at this forum. I consider it to be an absolute honor to have served this great party for so many years, doing the business of the people we serve. It is with the same pride and resolve that I, with a heart of expectation and humility, sought it fit to offer myself for another level of service with a portfolio on the national executive of the movement. I believe that it is timely to introduce an enhanced, structured, and strategic approach to managing the affairs of this party, and by extension, developing a more people-centered and process-driven approach to engaging the numerous issues of the membership. I believe that it is now absolutely relevant that I step forward. It is with this urge that as the Assistant General Secretary, I intend to focus on building a more strategic approach, influencing the direction of the party, establishing a change management plan, so as to smoothly and effectively transition the party into greater internal alignment with the redefined vision of our political leader. Assist in developing at all levels practical succession planning and thereby securing the future and legacy of our party. We must engage our retired and aging members and their expertise to enhance the development of internal policies, as well as draft recommendations to be submitted to the legislative arm in government. To place greater emphasis on team building within the organization, while at the same time strengthening the core of our party units, which include the Women's League, the Youth League, the Tobago Council and party groups, and their presence at the table of democracy. And most importantly, brothers and sisters, I will use my positioning to ensure you, yes, you, the members of this great party, are seen, heard, listened to, and satisfied in your quest to benefit from being a member of the People's National Movement. Lend me your support as I run for the Assistant General Secretary.
Thank you very much, Abigail. Ladies and gentlemen, the PNM is a political organization, as our Constitution says, pledged to the maintenance of the rule of law, founded upon democratic principles, basic human rights and dignity, and dedicated to the raising of the moral and material standards of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and the promotion of their progress in all fields: political, economic, social, and moral. This, ladies and gentlemen, is your slate. The real, experienced, and dependable slate of candidates for the executive of the PNM for the next 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Red Rowdy.
We are a chosen generation. We are a chosen generation. All I require for life, God is giving me. I know you can. I know who God says I am. God, He says I am. The way He says I am. I know who I am.